This is First Contact, Stories of the Call Center.
People build playbooks and they have these areas where they want to create consistency and repetition and scalability. But how do you also realize, as you really say, everyone is unique and different. How do you make customers feel that their specific experience is personal and that they're just not being boxed into this, you fit in this, and this is the way we're going to treat you? Any advice or things you've worked with that help make it that way?
Yeah, so I think sort of big picture wise, there's two answers. One is employ the right people and give them the opportunity to personalize their experience. Okay, so I disagree with scripts. I'm happy to have guides for people to use, but I disagree that you should script people, because in scripting people you constrain their personality and what they can do, etc. The second thing is the big picture answer is segmentation. Basically, you've got to understand that there are different customers out there, and I think a big area that we are certainly moving into is this whole area of more of sort of psychographics and understanding people at a much deeper level, much more than they really know themselves. So, one of the examples I always use is that Disney know that when they ask people, their customers, what they want to eat at a theme park, Disney know that people say they'd like to have an option of a salad. Mm-hmm. Disney also know that people don't eat salads at theme parks. They eat hot dogs and hamburgers. Yeah. So there's a difference between what people say and what people do. Okay. And you've got to understand that segmentation, that type of level of understanding. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you can't just say, if you ask me what you want, I'll tell you what I want, but that doesn't necessarily mean to say that that will be what drives value. So you've really got to get under the skin of what customers are doing and saying, and look at things at a psychological level. So when we would look at an experience, we would look at it from a rational perspective. What's the customer doing? We would look at it from an emotional perspective. What's the customer feeling? We would then look at it from a subconscious level, which is what subconscious messages are we giving out? In contact center, it could be, have a nice day. And you can just tell by my tone, I really don't mean it. And I'm really bored talking to you. And then from the last area is from that sort of psychological area of understanding why people do things. And what we learn is people are irrational and they do irrational things. So you've got to, from that personalizing bit, you've got to, it's no good just turning around and saying, well, on emails, let's use their first name. That's personalization, but it's not exactly sophisticated. But you got to understand really what makes people tick, and that's understanding them at a much deeper level.